talking Legionnaires' Trial, which is also known as simply The Legion. This one is directed and co-written by Jose Megan. And this one actually stars Mickey Rourke. You've also got Bai Ling and Vladimir Kulich. So this is obviously based on a Roman Empire era story, and apparently this is based on true events. Now the setup is as follows. We have a Roman legion and their commander who are trapped in Armenia, and they are surrounded by mountains and their enemies, and they are to be put to the sword. They cannot get out of it. Their only hope is to send a solitary legionnaire over this mountain range in hopes of him reaching the neighbouring, I think, Syria, in hopes of getting this other Roman general, played by Mickey Rourke, to come and help them. Now, this particular legionnaire is famous for his climbing skills, hence why he has been selected. And along the way, he'll meet friends and foes on his journey, and maybe learn a little thing or two about faith. So there you go. So what do we think of this movie? What works, first of all, in Legion? Well, I have to say that I think the most striking thing about this movie is some of the fantastic establishing shots. Now, the director is very fond, some might say too fond, of drone shots here. But we do get an array of different vistas, from snowy mountains to dry deserts to lush, forestry areas. So the movie looks fantastic. It's very well photographed, I have to say. So in the cinematography here, we have lots of variations and different kind of like location shoots here. So the movie is visually quite arresting. And I think the movie does a good job of kind of giving you this kind of down and dirty look at this Roman soldier who is essentially just going through absolute hell to try and get his mission. And the movie does try and have a theme here about one's mission in life, and this will kind of tie into the religious aspects of the movie that will come into play in the second half of the film. There are a few battle sequences through the movie, but they're never. I mean, I think that the title "The Legion" is a little misrepresented here, because you never see a Roman legion. It is one legionnaire, and there's only ever a few people on screen at once, and we encounter a few enemies, but they're only like the most 3 at a time. So we have these little clutches of resistance and stuff like that. But the battles, the fight scenes are filmed pretty good. I think they filmed. There's one, for example, which is in this rocky area, which I felt was pretty good and felt quite brutal. And our main character, I think, does a pretty good job here of giving you this guy who is pretty exhausted and is just kind of giving it his all. But what doesn't work? To be honest with you, this movie is more or less one guy running through. It's like Forrest Gump if he was a Roman legionnaire. It's just like this guy running through these different locations and then encountering a couple of people on the way. It's pretty much a whole movie. We are led to believe we're going to see an epic Roman movie. This is a lower budget film, so this is getting you in with that marketing, but it never really materialises, unfortunately. It's just you realise how low budget this movie is, because there's no sets. It's just like a guy in the woods and being chased by some other guys wearing kind of like faux fur and stuff like that. We get a little bit more at the end of the movie when he reaches Mickey Rourke's character in a kind of a virtual set, shall we say? But the majority of the movie, you think it's very just one guy running through these woods, and although I appreciated some of the kind of the set pieces, the action and stuff like that, some of, I don't know, it just rings a little bit untrue at times. It just looks a little bit low budget. People in costume. As I said, the director here is a little bit too obsessed with drone shots, and you'll find yourself counting the drone shots as you kind of go through. It's a little bit too much, where it becomes noticeable. And then we have to talk about Mickey Rourke. Wow. I don't know what he's been doing. I mean, he's got a French manicure in this. I was like, what? You know, a bright, sparkling French manicure that he's showing on camera. And I'm like, did Roman generals have French manicures? I'm not so sure. And are you wearing eyeliner? I was like, what's going on here? And then, you know, there's no attempt here to try and disguise like Mickey Rourke's accent or anything like this. He's just kind of mumbling through his lines, and I don't know. It's good to have a name, and Mickey Rourke, you don't see it popping up on too many straight to, you know, VOD and DVD movies, but I don't know what he was doing in this, to be honest with you. It's you know, you don't see much of him until really the very end. We see a couple of scenes where he's talking to a statue, and I wish they'd cut those scenes up because they were just awful. We get to the end, and he has a scene with Biling, you know, kind of toing and froing what to do in this situation, and that was okay. But a lot of the time, I don't know, I wasn't really feeling his scenes. It just seemed like there's just maybe 2 days' work for him, and he really wasn't that fussed about it. So the movie ultimately is somewhat of a shallow experience, I would say. There are elements here that I think you can kind of watch if you just like a bit of an adventure movie, because this is what this is. Apparently it's based on a true account, but it's just one that I don't think is particularly memorable. But it's not bad, I don't think. I read a few reviews on this before recording my own one, and I gotta say the reviews were quite scathing. But I feel if you have to take the fact this is such a low budget film and base your score really on what it could do rather than what you want it to do, then I would say it's probably an average film at best. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing it next time. Bye for now.